Viewers, welcome to DC Digital Learning Program. In this video, we will be discussing about third semester physics comes under Mangalore University. That is elective paper we are going to deal with. You have 50 marks elective paper. Total there are 2 units and a complete of 24 sessions. In that first session you are going to learn in this video. Objectives of the learning in this video are first thing is study the concept of electric current, what is the meaning of electric current and unit and all. Ohm's law, one of the important law in electrical circuits applied to electrical circuits, its importance and limitations we are going to deal with. After the completion, you will be able to understand the concept of electric current and Ohm's law, its limitations. Let's start with the present concept. See, basically electricity is one of the branch of physics which deals with charges and its properties. It has two, again divided into two branches. One is electrostatics and one is current electricity. Electrostatics basically deal with the charges at rest, but current electricity deals with the charges are in motion. When charges are in motion, we can define one thing, that a current, the charges are moving in any conductor, we can say safely a current is flowing in that conductor. Then the charges, if you come to that point, what is a charge? Basically an entity always associated with matter is the charge. Basically we divide it into two types, one is positive charge and one is negative charge. On the basis of that we will learn the properties of charges. There are different type of objects or we can say the conductors in which the charges are different. When we consider a metallic conductor, purely it contains negative charges, or free electrons are the free electrons are the charge carriers. In case of vacuum tube it is free electrons, but in case of semiconductor it is both electrons and holes. Holes is of positive nature, that you will be learning in the ongoing videos, and semiconductor containing two types of charge carriers. In case of discharge tubes, it is the motion of both ions and free electrons. So it is about charge carriers and the branch current electricity. Then comes the thing is the direction of the current. What is the direction of the current? Suppose an electrons are moving in one particular direction, say plus x or positive x direction, we can use one conventional direction for the current, that is in opposite to that direction. That is in that case the current is in negative x axis. If the charge carriers are positive, then the direction of motion of the positive charges itself is the direction of the current. Strength of the current, it is defined as the rate of change of flow of charges. If the rate of flow of charge is the same, then the current is said to be steady. Then is the definition, mathematical form of a steady state current, it is Q by IT. Q by T, where Q is the amount of charge passing in the given interval of time t, and for the steady state it is same, in the same interval of time t always the amount of charge flowing is Q. That is the meaning of steady state current. There is no change in the current charge value, amount of charge with respect to time. If suppose there is a change in the number of charges in a given interval of time, then we have to define instantaneous current. See, it is given by the formula that I is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta q by delta t, that is equal to dq by dt. dq is the small amount of charge flowing in the small interval of time dt that we needed to define instantaneous current. And the time limit, that is delta t, is very small, that is it tends to 0, then it gives the result dq by dt. By using that relation, we can define the instantaneous current in any given conductor. Delta q is the time charge that flows in the time interval between t and t plus dt. Delta q is somewhat large value compared to dq. When delta t tends to 0, delta q becomes dq. SI unit of current is ampere. See, when you write in words, it is starting from small letter ampere, but symbol is capital A. We use capital A. Sometimes if the current is very small, we measure it in milliamps, microamps, etc. So ampere is the basic unit of charge, basic unit of current. Definition of ampere: if 1 coulomb of charge pass through any surface or any cross sectional area in 1 second, then the current is said to be 1 ampere. That is the important definition for the ampere. You can observe the picture that 1 coulomb of charge is flowing in 1 second. So in that case, in that given in the given conductor, the current strength is 1 ampere. Current through a conductor. How the current is flowing through the current is creating in the conductor. Consider a cylindrical type metallic wire of some length, say L. In that it contains basically free electrons. They are moving randomly in all particular directions. So the total sum of the velocities, if you calculate, it is 0, because they are randomly moving, and the sum of all the values, if you take, it will be 0. But when you apply a potential difference of some value at the two ends of the conductor, then electrons starts moving, or we can say drifting, from one point to another point in a particular direction. Why? Because when you apply a voltage or potential difference at the two ends, an electric field starts acting on the free electrons. The applied electric field creates a force on the electrons. As a result, they start drifting from one point to another point. So it results a velocity of electrons, particularly called drift velocity, and because of that reason, current produces in the conductor. It is only due to applied electric field, otherwise there is no current. Current is basically flow of charges in a particular direction. If there is a flow of charges in a particular direction, then only there is a current, otherwise no. So it is possible only if you apply potential difference. Some of the basic terms. First thing is drift velocity. Basically, it is the average velocity with which the free electrons drift towards the positive potential under the effect of applied electric field. Relaxation time. It is the average time elapsed between two successive collisions suffered by an electron. When you apply a potential difference, they starts drifting from one point to another point, during which it always collide with another electrons or with the ions. So again when it collides, it transfers its energy. Again, by gaining energy from the electric field, it starts moving in the direction of the electric field. So in that sense, we can define the relaxation time that it is the average time elapsed between two successive collisions suffered by an electron. Mean free path lambda, distance traveled by a free electron in time equal to relaxation time. Simple definition. Then comes the very important that is Ohm's law related to electrical charges and current. It is mainly dealing with potential difference and current. See, we already discussed that whenever there is a potential difference at the two ends of the conductor, electrons or charges starts flowing in a particular direction, it results current. Then what about the relation between the applied potential difference and the strength of the current? Here is the important result according to Ohm's law, that the strength of the current is always depends on the applied potential difference. If the potential difference applied increases, then the strength of the current increases. That is, more number of electrons starts moving in the same area. As a result, the strength of the current is gradually increasing. So it is proportional. V is proportional to I. When we take out the proportionality sign, there comes the proportionality constant, that is called resistance. R is called the resistance of the conductor. It is nothing but the effective opposition offered by the conductor to the flow of charges. For the conductor or metallic conductor, it is very small. The SI unit is ohm, OHM, or you can give the symbol that is there in the PPT. Limitations of the Ohm's law. What are the limitations? Basically, it is applicable to metallic conductors. Why? Because metallic conductors, nature of the metallic conductor is something different when you compare to vacuum tubes or discharge tubes or semiconductors. Metallic conductors contain free electrons. Basically, they require very small amount of potential difference to drift from one point to another point. So it is applicable to metallic conductor. One thing, it holds good only when the physical conditions and temperature remains the same. That is the second limitation. Resistivity. Basically we use rho, letter rho, to specify resistivity. The resistivity of a material of a conductor is defined as the resistance of the given material of unit length and unit area of cross section. So it depends on the size or shape of the metallic conductor. It is also called specific resistance of the material of the conductor. The unit is ohm meter. Resistivity is independent of the dimension of the conductor. It depends on the material of the conductor, temperature of the conductor, purity of the conductor. SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. Reciprocal of resistance is conductance, denoted by G, whose unit is Simon. The reciprocal of resistivity is conductivity. Let us discuss some of the multiple choice questions. Ohm's law is not applicable to semiconductors. It is applicable to DC circuits, high current, small resistors, etc. But it is not applicable to semiconductors. That is D. Specific resistance of a substance is measured in ohm meter. So for further reference, further details, you can refer Halliday and Resnick Fundamentals of Physics. Thank you.